Hello, welcome back to Elisays, as I am covering and dissect all the basic things you should know inside the movies for you to start with. As of today, I'm going to dissect peoples of Middle-earth. Probably this is gonna be the final episode for the World of LOTR series, and I'm moving on to a new series after this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to separate these peoples of Middle-earth into 7 parts so that we can understand it together even better in the shortest way possible. Okay, let me start roughly with how the peoples of Middle-earth even existed in the first place. According to Tolkien, in the World of LOTR, there was this godly figure named Eru Illuvatar. He created the angelic spirits called Ainur at the beginning to guide and retain the orders in earth. There's these 2 types of Ainur. One was the Valar, the mightier Ainur, and the other one was the Maiar. I would call it a lesser spirit of Ainur. A lot of mighty Ainur have desired to descend into the world to prepare and make the earth ready for the coming of the children of Ilúvatar, that is, the elves and the men. 15 of this great Ainur became the Valar, or powers of Arda, the powers of earth, okay? So the 15th Valar, named Melkor, unfortunately turned aside from the path and became the first Dark Lord named Morgoth. That only leaves us with 14 Valar right now. But these Valars are believed to have a more innate power and understood Eru's mind better. Many lesser Ainur that accompanied the Valar into the world are known as Maiar, lesser innate power than the Valar. Furthermore, they're not that attuned to Eru's mind, hence the Maiar's task is more to serving the Valar, who is more attuned to them. Despite most of the Valar and Maiar migrated from Middle-earth to the undying lands of Valinor, the realm of the Valar, located far west of Middle-earth, some of the Maiar race like Melian, the 5 wizards, the Balrogs, and the Dark Lord Sauron chose to reside in Middle-earth and assumed mortal forms for these 2 purposes, to either help retain peace or dominating control over peoples of Middle-earth. Maiar, as far as we know, is spirits of the same order as the Valar but lesser in power. So among the Ainurs who entered the Arda, the earth, long ago, there was one great and powerful Maiar named Melian, who kind of diverting from her path a little bit when she met with an elf king, King Thingol, in the forest of Non-Elmoth. So they got married, they ruled the kingdom of Doriath together in Middle-earth. Through Melian, her Maiar blood flows through the bloodlines of the elves and the men, passed down through generations after generations, and was still present at the time of the War of the Ring. So believe it or not, Elrond was Melian's great-great-grandson, and Aragorn too was her descendant, though through many more generations than Elrond, of course. So Sauron, or Mairon, the 2nd Dark Lord, is a fallen Maiar who chose to serve for the 1st Dark Lord. Melkor, or Morgoth, a fallen Valar, to gain control over free peoples of Middle-earth. Demonic creatures of fire and shadow, Balrogs, were fallen Maiars too. Loyal to the 1st Dark Lord Morgoth, together they waged wars during the First Age of Middle-earth, but were mostly destroyed during the War of Wrath, which ended the age. So by the 3rd Age, there was only one Balrog left, the Durin's Bane, where Gandalf need to confront in Moria, that ended up killing them both. The 5 wizards of Middle-earth, Gandalf, Saruman, Radagast, Alatar, and Palantir, were sent by the Valar to intervene with the worldly affairs and help retain the balance when Sauron make a comeback to continue his evil plans. So these 5 wizards take forms of men when they were sent to Middle-earth, but possessing much greater physical and mental power. They were called Istari, the wise ones by the elves. As the Istari were once a Maiar, they served the Valar before becoming a wizard, so they learned a lot before coming to Middle-earth. Saruman was the servant and helper of Aule, the great smith, therefore that explained his expertise in the arts of craftsmanship, mechanics, and metalworking, more obvious in the 3rd Age. Gandalf was the servant of Manwë, or Varda, but was a lover of the gardens of Lorien. So Gandalf pretty much knew the hopes and dreams of men and elves. Radagast, servants of Yavanna, a nature lover, that explains how much he loves both animals panels and pans in the Hobbits trilogy. So each series had robes with different colors, okay? So white for Saruman, the chief and the most powerful of the five. Grey for Gandalf until he dies when Balrog killed him in Moria and changed his robe to white when he was reincarnate because his task is not yet finished. Brown robe for Radagast since he's very earthy, and sea blue for Ilúvatar and Pallador, known otherwise as the Blue Wizards. Gandalf and Saruman play important roles in The Lord of the Rings, while Radagast appears only briefly in the story to help Saruman deceive Gandalf while at the same time trying to save Gandalf by alerting the Gwaihir, the Lord of the Great Eagles, to rescue Gandalf. Obviously, Radagast is playing both sides. Meanwhile, the Blue Wizards, Ilúvatar and Pallador do not feature in the story at all, as they are said to have journeyed far to the east after their arrival in Middle-earth. So that's probably basic things about Ainur that separates into two, Valar and Maiar. So we have completed together the first part of the final episode, The Peoples of Middle-earth, which only left us with another 2 parts to be moving in under the Peoples of Middle-earth. So stay tuned. Ciao.